Okay, taking the clamps off and I've started working them down. Now this is Craig's knife just after I've taken and just ground the perimeter down to where I start seeing bright steel, and it's still pretty fat on the thickness. But I'll take that down after what I do is I just scribe a line about where I want the handle to slim to, right here, and then I just gradually increase in width up to right here, and then I just start doing some freehand shaping. Now all of this in here is going to be dished out with a 6-inch radius because I have a 12-inch contact wheel that I dish that out for that little finger. And I haven't done that to either knife yet, but I'm working Rand's knife down here, and to get a good blend between the micarta here and the guard, and there's a point where you need to get off the machine and get on your hand tools and just creep up to it like I'm doing here. I have a little bit of epoxy showing there, and when that disappears, then I've made a good transition. But I like to get there slowly. I had this guard pretty much to shape before I peen them on, so I don't really want to lose any of that, so I'm just blending it all in very slowly. It doesn't take an awful long time, but it's important to do it by hand so you get there slowly and don't go too far, and then you've made a mistake and you've got a problem. Alright, I'm just, boy, it's dusty, I'll tell you. I've got to clean these glasses about every 5 minutes doing this, but got the handle just about done on Rand's knife. So I'm just walking up through the different grits. Right now I'm at 220. I will go like this, very light touch, up to about 500, and then I'll just fine sand it by hand. And then we'll move over and buff it, and then we'll be ready to wet form that sheath, which is pretty well ready for that right now. And then we'll get the Neatsfoot oil on it, and then we're going to start on Craig's knife and get it ready to go. But every time I see that grain in this linen micarta, I just love it. It's just reminds me of wood. But it's a lot tougher. So anyway, we're going to carry on, and the last thing I want to do after I buff everything is I will countersink this lanyard liner and get it dressed off, and then we'll be getting a look at the knife when it's closer to finish than it is right now. All right, it's time to wet form this knife. So all I've done is I've wet this area until it feels pliable. So I'm just going to place the knife in here, make sure it's all the way down, and it is. So then all you do is you just start molding this. You can use your fingers. Just want to make a little pocket. And I said this a bunch of times in my videos about wet forming. It doesn't take much, and you don't have to do it real severely. Sheath kind of hugs the knife anyway. I just want to find the finger groove, kind of form the leather there, and then right there. just forward of the guard. That's just the basic wet forming, and that's the knife to this point. I put a little bit of a buff on that micarta, and the reason I do it at 500 grit is that's where it's going to show me anything that I need to pay attention to. And I always find some areas. There's nothing glaring on this, but it's his knife is looking good. So I'm pretty much done, except for I was sanding from 500 up to 1000. And then we'll do a good wipe down and put it on a White Rouge wheel and just buff everything. Then we'll put an edge on the knife and we're done with this one. So we're going to get started on Craig's. All right, got Craig's knife well underway. It's all hand sanding from here on out, and the blade's finished as far as its polish. So we'll be getting these wrapped up, and I'm gonna box them up, take them over to the post office and have them weighed so I can email him a total and get them in the post to him just as soon as possible. But yeah, it's going to make a nice looking chef's knife. Okay, we're to the last step on the knives, which is putting the edge on. So, like I always do, I'm running this through the 3 grades of Arkansas stone, starting with a soft, then going to a hard, then going to this black, very hard, very fine stone. Then we're going to finish on the leather strop, and then we're going to get these cleaned off, and I'll show them to you when they are ready to stick in the mailing tube here that I have ready, and I've turned a little plug, and I'll throw a couple of my care and use cards in with each knife, as I do with all of them. That is just for the particular steel the knife is made from. So I will come back when I have them sharpened up and cleaned up, and the sheath is nearly dry. The Neatsfoot oil is almost dry in the sheath. So we'll be ready to package them all up and get them off in the post here very, very soon. So I'll be back when done with this step. Okay, guys, we're at that point. We're done. Here's the chef's knife that Craig ordered for himself, and it is very sharp, and it's ready to give you some kitchen service there, Craig. So I'm happy with the way these turn out, and you know, if I wasn't happy, you wouldn't see them yet. So I got that one done, and then this. This is the fillet knife that Craig wanted me to make, and he's going to gift this to his brother-in-law, Rand. So here you go, Rand. It is sharpened up, and it's ready to go, and I think this is going to give you some good service out in the field. You guys have fun and good luck out there. And these are sharpened up. They're ready to go. The sheath, the Neatsfoot oil is just about dry. Enough to where it doesn't pick up a lot of oil on the knife when we go into the sheath with it. But I'm still going to leave this knife out of the sheath to let this fully dry out. And yeah, the sheath is rugged, and it's going to give you some good service and good protection from this knife. So I've sent Craig an invoice, and pretty soon we're going to be getting it into this this pretty sturdy mailing tube that I made. So the post office can't do their magic on it, and I'm going to put a couple of these care and use cards that talks about the steel and a little bit about the leather care, but it's all common sense stuff. So yeah, glad to have this one wrapped up, and I was very appreciative to Craig for the patronage, and on behalf of Rand, Craig, thank you very much for what you're doing for him. This is a very nice gift. So guys, I'm going to drink this fresh cup of coffee, and I'll tell you what, I enjoyed making this series. I really like putting these series on YouTube, especially for the customers who purchase my knives. It's a pleasure. So I will see you guys the next time I do something that is worth videoing. So you have a great day, and we'll see you later.